What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Ibrahima Konate, welcome to Liverpool FC. I'm really excited to reveal to you guys that Fabrizio Romano, the very reliable transfer guru, said that the deal is very much done and it's soon to be official, it's soon to be completed. Some sources are saying that Konate even completed a medical already for Liverpool, and Fabrizio Romano said that Konate will 100% join Liverpool very soon because we are signing him on a 5-year contract on 2026 on personal terms that we already agreed with Konate months ago, and we will pay the release clause of Konate to Leipzig, which is roughly 30 million pounds, is 35 million euros. And happy birthday Konate, by the way. His birthday is today. What an interesting coincidence as well. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like and let me know in the comments below what do you think about this news. And Konate, in the limited game time that he had due to injuries this season, when he played, the Leipzig defender displayed some qualities that I'm sure will bode very well when he signs for Liverpool, because he is better than Kabak or Reece Williams or Nat Phillips in terms of he not only can defend well, but he can also take the ball and carry it forward and take the ball out of defense, and also his distribution is probably much better than the defenders that Liverpool used this season, except of course Gomez, Van Dijk and Matip. I'm talking about the second half of this season. And according to Who Scored, Konate has an aerial success rate of a 3.8 per 90 minutes, which means that he's winning almost 4 aerial battles every game in the Bundesliga. In comparison to Liverpool's squad, he ranked as 3rd behind Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, who have both proved pretty dominant in the air. And also previously, football analytics writer Tom Vorville has described Konate as having the pace to fit into Jurgen Klopp's very high defensive line, as well as praising his ability to carry the ball forward. When Liverpool and Leipzig met in the Champions League, Konate remained an unused substitute, and now in hindsight that looks a little bit suspicious. Maybe Liverpool already talked to Leipzig, and we maybe already had an agreement with Leipzig that we will buy Konate at the end of the season. I think Liverpool just waited to see how the season concludes, whether we get Champions League football, Europa League football or no European football at all. And now that the Champions League is secure for Liverpool and the 3rd place finish is actually the highest finish that Liverpool could have had, considering the amount of injuries that we had. So it's a best case scenario for Liverpool. And also Konate is set to join up the French under-21 squad for a European under-21 championship campaign, which starts very soon, I think next Monday, and that will see him gain valuable game time ahead of a move to Liverpool. And also it will not keep him out of preseason, because the under-21 championship finishes a lot earlier than the European Championship. And you might wonder, is Konate's injury record a worry? And yes, Konate has suffered with injuries throughout the season, but his record will not be that big of a concern, because he's still only 22 years old, and this is probably his only season where he suffered multiple injuries in a single season. And Konate, according to Transfermarkt, has missed only 154 days of this campaign. He had basically 2 injuries, a torn muscle fiber and an ankle injury, which amounts to being unavailable for 15 games. If you consider that Joe Gomez missed 39 games this season, Virgil van Dijk missed 45 games this season, missing 15 games is not a lot to compare to that. And I think the fact that we are signing a really young but very promising, very highly talented centre-back means that Liverpool's medical department have no concern whether Virgil van Dijk or Joe Gomez will get back to their absolute best after their really strong, really hard injuries. Because if there were any concerns medically, I think we would sign a much more experienced centre-back. Konate is still expected to be 3rd or 4th choice centre-back next season. And yes, we will play a lot of games, but Gomez and Van Dijk will be our first choice centre-back pairing for next season, but Konate will play games in the cups and sometimes in the Premier League, and he will just behind the scenes learn the way of how to play in a Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp. And I think it will be very intriguing, very interesting what Jurgen Klopp decides to do with Reece Williams and Nat Phillips and also Joel Matip. I think we should keep Matip, we should keep Nat Phillips, and we should loan out Reece Williams to gain valuable game time. But Nat Phillips, with the performances that he had this season, I think he earned the right to be in and around the Liverpool squad next season. And many newspapers and many journalists already claimed that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with Konate months ago, so now we just need to reach an agreement with Leipzig, and that is going to happen in the coming weeks. Although some sources say that the deal will be officially announced only after the European Under-21 Championships are over for the France Under-21 team. And Liverpool have until the end of May to exercise their option to buy for Ozan Kabak. And there are already reports coming out that Liverpool still haven't decided whether to sign Ozan Kabak. I think Jurgen Klopp is raving about him after the season and during the season as well. So if there is money available, then Ozan Kabak will be a Liverpool player next season. He only costs 18 million, and considering how talented he is, I don't think that's too big of a gamble. But you know, you might argue, do Liverpool need like 5 or 6 centre-backs next season? I think we definitely need 4. And if we sign Konate, then we will have 5 centre-backs next season without Ozan Kabak, because Gomez, Van Dijk, Matip, Nat Phillips and Konate, that's 5 centre-backs. You might argue, if we are keeping Nat Phillips, we might not keep Ozan Kabak. But of course Liverpool need to be very smart with their finances, and now that Divock Origi is for sale, Marco Grujic, Harry Wilson, we don't know the futures of Shaqiri, Minamino. Of course, Loris Karius is also for sale. Taiwo Avoni is also for sale. So we could sell a lot of players and generate around 50, 60, 70 million. And if Liverpool really want to make a marquee signing this summer, we might not be able to afford signing Ozan Kabak, signing Konate, and signing a marquee signing as well. And according to a well-sourced German reporter, Guido Schäfer, Leipzig's Konate is on his way to Anfield in a deal which will cost overall a whopping 38 million with the wages and the transfer fee. And he also highlighted the fact that this could be Leipzig's best transfer in the history of their short existence, because Konate signed from French side Sochaux for absolutely nothing. So they are making a huge profit on him in just 4 years. He signed in 2017, and now they are selling him for like 30 million, which is a really big profit. And Fabrizio Romano also revealed that yesterday not only that basically Konate's deal is confirmed, he will join Liverpool soon, but also that Liverpool have not decided yet whether Ozan Kabak will be bought or not. And he says, as of today, it's unlikely that Liverpool will buy Ozan Kabak. So what do you think? Is that the right decision? I think Liverpool don't need 6 centre-backs, so I think it makes sense that we only buy Ozan Kabak if we cannot buy Konate. But I think now that the Konate deal is pretty much done, it's pretty certain that Ozan Kabak will not be bought. And Pep Guardiola pretty much confirmed that Sergio Aguero is joining Barcelona, and Wijnaldum is also set to sign for Barcelona on a 3-year contract. That's according to Sky Sports journalist Matteo Moretto, with both Fabrizio Romano and Christian Falk also co-signing the claim that Wijnaldum is very close to joining Barcelona. And Fabrizio Romano also said there is nothing agreed between FC Bayern and Wijnaldum. He wants to sign for Barcelona, and the last details are set to be ironed out. And also Wijnaldum said that he didn't really want to leave Liverpool, but that God has chosen this path for him, this new path, and he will see what happens. I think he wanted a bigger contract and longer contract at Liverpool, but also probably his family wanted a new adventure, as well as Wijnaldum also wanted a new adventure. And fair play to Wijnaldum, he has won almost everything at Liverpool except a domestic cup. He has won the Champions League, the Premier League, the Club World Cup, the European Super Cup. So I wish him all the best, and I really hope he signs for Barcelona and does well there. And also, Gareth Southgate has delayed his decision to name his final Euro 2020 squad. He named a provisional 33-man group that will be trimmed down to 26 players on June the 1st, allowing him to include injury doubts such as Harry Maguire, Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips. The big news is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is in the squad, as well as Kieran Trippier, Reece James and Kyle Walker. But I don't think Gareth Southgate is taking 4 right backs. I think he should take Kyle Walker, Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Trippier, he should leave him out. But if he doesn't take Trent Alexander-Arnold, it will be the biggest travesty in England's squad selection history, in my opinion. And also, Samuel Marsden has revealed that Wijnaldum's lawyer, Jean Cabalt, has met with Barcelona this morning. He can't confirm a 3-year deal's close, but they are told that the Liverpool midfielder out of contract is holding on to see what if Barcelona could offer numbers-wise, and what clubs like Bayern Munich and Inter can offer him. So I think Wijnaldum is still not 100% signed with Barcelona, but the deal is pretty close. And Jurgen Klopp said that this is a sensational group, and what we achieved this season is really remarkable, really amazing, considering how many obstacles Liverpool have to come over. And he said, in all the tough times, there was no pointing fingers at others and saying it's because of that or because of you and because of that mistake. We just went through it. Yes, it was tough, but we went through it, Jurgen Klopp said. And here we are. If you don't give up, you have a proper chance. And this was never the year to become champion for us. We had too many problems. But who cares? There must be other targets. And we are 3rd in this incredibly strong league. That's insane. That's the 3rd best finish we ever had since I am here. So not too bad. I'm really happy. Yes, that's actually his 3rd best season in terms of league placings. Yes, we got a lot more points, 76 I think, when we finished 4th twice with Jurgen Klopp. But to finish 3rd is actually brilliant, and the 3rd place finish was something that Jurgen Klopp didn't achieve yet. We already finished 1st, 2nd, 4th and 8th under Jurgen Klopp. So to come 3rd is a nice thing that we finished in each of the top 4 position already under Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp was asked, of course, is this Liverpool squad still the mentality monsters? He said, honestly, I was never self-confident enough this season, even in the last few weeks, to use that phrase. I think the boys did an incredible job, but there were not a lot of moments where it felt really like that. But 8 wins out of the last 10 games, 26 points out of the last 30. It never felt like that. I said it today before the game to the boys. It's our fault that it never felt like that, but it was maybe because it was so hard. We had so many problems in so many areas of the team. The 2 centre halves got cuts against Crystal Palace, and they both get stitches in their eyes, or above their eyes. But Reece Williams didn't train since Burnley. Basically, Jurgen Klopp had to worry about something, injuries or other stuff all the time. And here we are, finishing in 3rd place. Jurgen Klopp said, I have no words for that. It's absolutely incredible. I would have never bet a penny on that, but here we are. Brilliant. And Ned Phillips also said, I couldn't be happier. I think maybe 8 games ago it looked like it could have been out of sight. It's taken the whole team, everybody at the club, to really dig in, and the form we hit right at the end of the season, the levels we reached, and even the games when things weren't going for us. But we managed to grind it out and stick at it. I'm just really proud of the whole team and all the staff. It took a lot of strength to keep going, to never give up, stick at it, and we have got our rewards. And at one point, I think many Liverpool fans, including myself, have pretty much given up on the top 4. But you know, this Liverpool team just has this mentality of never giving up, never giving in. And Jurgen Klopp always said, let's just try to win the next game. Let's just try to win the next one and see what happens. And I'm really delighted that we managed to get third, because this will galvanize this Liverpool team so much. And next season, I'm sure that we will have a proper title challenge once again. Really looking forward to it, and really looking forward to covering that for you guys on this channel. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.